indigenous cultures also prioritize kind of living in harmony, right, with the planet. And so it's hard maybe to reconcile, only taking what you need from the planet, right? We have a culture really that's based really on excess consumption. That's really not good for the planet or the ecosystem surrounding these. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting to see, if you have a lot of indigenous wisdom that maybe conflicts with how we live, how does the model, and it's, usually it's kind of the fine tuning on the perspective, like how we want as a model owner, the model to interact with people. To what level do we want to prioritize that way of thinking? Because let's say it's a minority of our data, like most of the data that we have. If I have a little data from, an indigenous culture, then I have the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal and, all these other sources. You have one smaller piece of data that maybe conflicts with, the broader narrative that we're trying to extract oil and gas from the ground and all those things. And, at some point, maybe there's a way for individuals to, I call it setting the temperature. The individuals can set the temperature of their own model based on how they want to be.
That's interesting. So wait, how would that work?
I would just give people, some tools to say, do you want it to be, more focused on this or less? So some people, some young people are just totally focused on making money. So they would dial it up and say, all I want to do is figure out, how to trade, crypto, and, who cares about the dolphins? And so, they can set their tonality and the importance of, how the model thinks, what topics are important themselves versus somebody that I think, well, the planet's the most important thing. How do we preserve it?